Hey, did you know that the secret to controlling your diabetes might be hiding in your kitchen spice rack? I'm not kidding. Those little jars of flavor you've been ignoring could be the game changers you've been searching for, while diets and meds keep letting you down. We're talking about nature's own medicine, packed with power to transform your blood sugar. And I've got the proof to blow your mind. Now, before you roll your eyes, thinking spices are just for taste, let me hit you with this. Certain spices, if overlooked, could actually spike your risk of insulin resistance. Yeah, that's right. Something as simple as a pinch of the right stuff can fight inflammation and stress. Two silent killers behind diabetes chaos. Let's dig into why this matters. Inflammation isn't just a buzzword. It's a firestorm in your body, messing with how insulin works, making your blood sugar a roller coaster. Stress, it's dumping cortisol into your system, jacking up glucose levels faster than you can say dessert. But here's the kicker. Spices aren't just passive players. They're loaded with phytonutrients, tiny warriors that can cool that inflammation and dial down stress. I've seen folks who couldn't get their numbers under control for years turn things around just by tweaking what's on their plate. Picture this. A middle-aged guy, let's call it a real struggle, battling constant fatigue and spikes after every meal. He started sprinkling one particular spice into his morning routine. More on that later. And within weeks, his energy was up and his readings stable for the first time in ages. That's not magic. That's science, hidden in plain sight. We're going to unpack 6 of these powerhouse spices, how they work, and when to use them to flip the script on your health. Stick with me, because this isn't just about shaking things up in the kitchen. It's about shaking up your life. Let's lay it all out. Diabetes isn't just a numbers game. It's a war against your body's own glitches. Insulin resistance means your cells are slamming the door on glucose, leaving it to pile up in your bloodstream. Over time, this isn't just annoying, it's dangerous, leading to heart issues, nerve damage, and more. But nature's got your back with tools we've underestimated for too long. I'm talking about 6 superstar spices: cardamom, cumin, saffron, cinnamon, turmeric, and ginger. Each one's a heavy hitter with unique strengths backed by hard science. Start with cardamom. Rich in antioxidants, it doesn't just help keep blood sugar in check, it tackles blood pressure and even eases stress and anxiety. Studies, like those published in journals such as Diabetes Research and Clinical Practice, show cardamom's compounds can improve glucose uptake. Then there's cumin, a digestive beast. It cuts through bloating and constipation, which might sound unrelated, but poor gut health messes with blood sugar regulation. Research from Nutrition Journal highlights cumin's role in reducing post-meal glucose spikes. Saffron's next, and it's not just pretty. It's a mood lifter and blood sugar stabilizer. A 2019 study in phytotherapy research found saffron can lower fasting glucose levels while acting like a natural antidepressant. Cinnamon? A class, especially the Ceylon variety. It's been shown in meta-analyses, like one from Annals of Family Medicine, to drop blood sugar by improving insulin sensitivity and even cutting bad cholesterol. Turmeric, with its active compound curcumin, is a powerhouse, lowering glucose spikes boosting insulin function, and protecting your brain from oxidative stress, as per findings in diabetes care. And ginger? It's not just for nausea. It's a blood sugar balancer and digestion aid. With research in International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition showing it reduces fasting glucose. I remember a patient who couldn't shake morning nausea and erratic readings. We worked ginger into her daily routine. Fresh slices in hot water first thing, and within a month, her stomach settled and her numbers started trending down. These aren't old wives' tales. They're tools with real impact. But it's not just about knowing them. It's about using them right, at the right time, in the right way. Let's break that down next, because timing can be everything. Hold up, because here's where it gets even wilder. When and how you use these spices can make or break their power. Think about saffron for a second. Need a mood boost to start your day? Toss a few strands into warm water first thing in the morning. Struggling with sleep? A common diabetes sidekick due to stress? Have it an hour before bed. Its calming effect is like a lullaby for your nerves. Want to curb appetite? Another sneaky trigger for blood sugar spikes? Take it on an empty stomach. Studies show it can dial down hunger signals. Cinnamon's another one with timing tricks. Add it to your morning coffee or tea, and you're not just waking up your taste buds, you're firing up your metabolism and stabilizing glucose right out the gate. Research backs this. A 2020 study in Journal of Diabetes Science and Technology found cinnamon at breakfast cut post-meal spikes by up to 20%. Turmeric needs a buddy, black pepper, to unlock its full potential. Without it, your body struggles to absorb curcumin. So, mix a pinch of pepper with turmeric in your meals. Data from Foods Journal confirms this combo boosts absorption by 2,000%. Ginger's versatility is unreal. Sip it as water in the morning to kickstart digestion, or brew it as tea after meals to prevent spikes. I've watched this play out firsthand. There was this lady, always bloated after dinner, blood sugar jumping like crazy. We got her sipping ginger tea post-meal. Just a small cup, nothing fancy. 2 weeks later, she's not just feeling lighter. Her evening readings dropped from the 180s to the 120s. These aren't random hacks. They're precision moves. But here's the real question. Can you combine these into something even bigger? Something that hits multiple fronts at once? You bet. And I've got the ultimate recipe to prove it. Now let's hit the peak. Because if you're ready to take control, this is your weapon. A simple, powerful elixir that packs the punch of multiple spices into one drink. Here's how you make it. Grab 1 teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of honey. Boil 2 cups of water. Mix everything in and let it steep for 5 minutes. That's it. Sip this warm, fragrant brew, and you're not just treating your taste buds, you're flooding your system with anti-inflammatory, blood sugar lowering, digestion-boosting power. Let's break down why this works. Turmeric's curcumin, amplified by black pepper, cuts glucose spikes and supports insulin function. Studies in diabetes care show it can lower HbA1c levels over months. Ginger tackles digestion and nausea, keeping your gut from sabotaging your numbers. Research in nutrition and metabolism confirms its glucose-regulating effects. Cinnamon enhances insulin sensitivity, with trials in Journal of Medicinal Food showing it reduces fasting glucose by 10 to 29% in some patients. Honey, it's not just sweetness. It's a natural antimicrobial that soothes without the crash of refined sugar. But quality matters. Don't skimp. Cheap spices with fillers lose potency. Buy fresh, ideally enough for 6 to 12 months, and store them right. I've seen the difference this makes. Picture a guy in his 50s, frustrated with meds that barely budged his numbers. He started this elixir daily, just 1 cup in the morning. 3 weeks in, his fasting glucose dropped from 150 to 110, and his energy through the roof. He told me it felt like reclaiming a piece of his old self, not just a number on a meter. But let's go deeper. Science backs this hard. A 2017 meta-analysis in phytomedicine found turmeric and ginger combos significantly improved metabolic markers in diabetic patients. Another study from Nutrition Research showed cinnamon's compounds mimic insulin's action, helping cells finally open up to glucose. I've had patients pair this drink with small lifestyle tweaks, walking 10 minutes after meals, cutting soda, and the synergy is unreal. One woman, battling spikes for a decade, saw her post-meal readings stabilize below 140 for the first time in years. After adding this elixir, she cried, telling me how she could finally enjoy food without dread. This isn't a gimmick, it's a lifeline, a daily ritual that fights for you on multiple fronts. If you felt helpless, like nothing works, this is your turning point. Because sometimes the smallest changes pack the biggest punch. All right. Let's lighten it up for a second, because this journey doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. Imagine this. You're standing in your kitchen, the aroma of cinnamon and ginger wafting up from a steaming mug. It's not just a drink. It's a little act of rebellion against a condition that's tried to steal your joy. Here's the funny part. Turns out, nature's been sitting there, smirking at us, waiting for us to catch on. Spices aren't just sidekicks. They're the unsung heroes we've walked past 1,000 times. I'll never forget this one patient who laughed, saying, "I spent hundreds on supplements, and the answer was in my grandma's old recipe book all along." And here's a jaw-dropper to chew on. Studies like one from Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that a single teaspoon of cinnamon daily could rival some meds in lowering blood sugar over weeks. Isn't that wild? It's like discovering your quiet neighbor's secretly a superhero. I've watched people light up, sharing stories of their first sip of that elixir, how it warmed them from the inside, how they felt, just for a moment, like they were in control again. One guy described it as a hug in a cup, and I couldn't agree more. It's not just about the science. It's about reclaiming those small, sweet victories. Picture yourself at a family dinner, not stressing over every bite, because you've got this secret weapon in your corner. Or waking up without that heavy fog, knowing you started your day fighting back. These spices, this simple brew. They're not just ingredients. They're a reminder that you've got more power than you think. And honestly, in a world that feels stacked against you sometimes, isn't it nice to know a pinch of something so ordinary can do something so extraordinary? So here we are. You've got the tools. 6 incredible spices, from cardamom to ginger, each with the power to shift the tide on diabetes. You've got the elixir, a daily dose of fight back that's as easy as boiling water. It's not about overhauling your life. It's about small, intentional moves that add up. Sprinkling cinnamon in your coffee, sipping ginger tea after dinner, or starting your morning with a warm welcome healing brew. The science is clear, the stories are real, and the power is in your hands. If you found this helpful and want to hear more of my stories, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Your support is what keeps me going. And hey, drop a comment below. Which spice are you most excited to try? Or do you have a family recipe with these hidden gems? I'd love to hear about it.